webinar, you will, you'll present the problem, then the solution, and then like how the steps they can follow, and then at the end there'll be like a special offer with, scarcity and urgency and all this stuff. And I feel like because of what I'm doing, mostly I'm targeting coaches, so I kind of wanted to. I feel like when I do that kind of stuff, it doesn't work particularly well because like you can kind of smell it a mile away, and I feel like I want to be more discreet and also more stealthy. So the plan at the moment was to basically just talk about it at the very beginning. So I expect at my at the webinar on Wednesday, there'll be a bunch of people that are already part of my community that know me well, and there should be a bunch of people that have never met me before. So I'm planning to just basically come in and present it as the elephant in the room and being like, why would I, why would I run, spend $1,000 on ads for a month to get people to a free webinar? Well, of course, I have something to offer, right? And then sort of present it as being that I think it's an amazing offer. And so I hope by the end of the activity today that you'll be able to see the value that I bring in relation to this and how I can help you. And if not, that's completely fine. But basically telling them specifically the basics of what the offer is at the beginning as an anchor towards, sneaky way to address it. Also not trying to trick them, being really honest as well. Like, you guys are coaches, you know how it works. So there is an offer here. This is roughly what it looks like. And if you're interested at the end, feel free. There's this amount of spots. Something along those lines. But yeah, what do you guys think? What would you do?
I think that's smart. I really like that. I'd feel like it's quite respectful to be like, look, you guys aren't silly. You're obviously here because you're interested in what I'm doing. I do have a lot more. If I was on that webinar and I was interested, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. I respect that you've said that at the start and kind of got it out of the way. Do you then go into like what's included there and then, or do you talk about what's included later on?
Yeah, I think I would. I guess I'm kind of figuring this out at the moment. I want to without dragging too much momentum. Like I want to mention it, but very briefly. So probably in relation to it's premium at the moment, there's like quite a few bits and pieces to it, probably too many, but there is a couple of angles that make it compelling, which is having a call with me, which I think is compelling, and the ability to get feedback on the signature talk. So I think the plan would be to double down and just mention like the highest value parts, as well as a bunch of other stuff, and mention the price as well. $49 a year is incredibly cheap. Yeah, something like that. But I mean, what do you think?
So what's like the outcome of private workshop access, signature talk course, signature workshop course? Is like the outcome of that is they run workshops or webinars to get more clients, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. Oh, I should probably mention as well. So something I'm trying to craft is the way I want to talk about premium is that it is about being kind of in the inner circle, as well, as I mentioned about how I want to, I'm not sure if this is information overload, but how I want to basically help people inside and create maps. So like every premium member has like a map of what I believe is the best practice or the best use of their skills at this moment in time in relation to like a workshop or masterclass, and making sure that everyone has that so that I can use it for content. But I don't know if I should say that part or not. So just curious about how that lands.
Like a roadmap?
Yeah, basically. So it would be like this topic. So, if it's you guys, and I'd say like this topic, I'd probably want to, since you have a paid community, run ads externally to a webinar, make it really practical, choose one person who's like not very good at sales, who's in your high ticket program, run it live with them, like this kind of strategic part, so that everyone in the premium, they're just like, oh, cool. That's like, I can just try that, or it sounds good at least, and maybe compels them to jump on the call.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's sweet, man. It's just like, when's the webinar? Wednesday,
yeah.
Right, how many people you got registered?
We got so about 50 through school, from the two communities that I'm running it in, and I've had 200 signups online.
Wow.
So I don't know how many. I have no idea. I haven't run it like this before, so I have no idea how many will come through. But even if it's like 20%, that'd be epic. I'm hoping for like 100 people. That would be awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, 20%. If you get 20% with that 40, and then 20% close rate on those 40, there'll be 8 new signups. That'd be pretty cool.
Be great. Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, yeah, like our typical. Oh, sorry, Harry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, just how's it kind of landed so far when you've done that? Or is this the first time you're kind of taking that approach?
First, which approach?
When you said like you start off with like the offer and you kind of just lay it out at the start, have you done that before, or would this be the first time kind of doing it that way?
Good question. Yeah, I've only done it in sales calls. So last time I did a big masterclass, when I jumped on the call with these guys, that's how I started. I said, like, look, you're a coach, you know how it goes. I'm going to have an offer at the end. We can have a chat about it, no pressure, blah blah blah. So it worked. I closed 2 of them, which is great. So I felt like, wow, this is something different. But I just sort of, it was spur of the moment, and I felt like, I should just do this because that seems like what would be most respectful to me. So sort of why I'm thinking about doing it as a pitch, but I've never done it as a pitch in a webinar before.
Yeah, no, I really like that idea because I think, for example, if I was to join to obviously learn how to run a webinar to win clients, I would want to open it like you have, so it doesn't feel like you're going to go on this whole spiel for whatever, and then at the end, kind of like slip the offer, and everyone's kind of sat there waiting for the offer. So I think it's good to open with that for sure. And then just in terms of like the call to, like, are you going to have like I don't know if like this is the right word, like a template that people would then follow for their own webinars, or is it going to be a case of they can be creative with how they would do it themselves?
The focus of this workshop is designing a signature talk. So what they get on the call, I'm trying to basically give them the 80-90% that they need for it. So we talk about the framework. I give them a worksheet to follow. They can validate their ideas, talking about like what's the core concept or story that they're focusing on, and then have that validated, because that's like one of the main parts. The prompt to build out the call at the moment is in Premium. So it's like, if you want to just like plug into AI and have that for support, then that's there. But most people should be able to walk away with like a pretty solid talk by the very end. That was the promise from the ad itself. So yeah, then this, like, I guess it's sort of part of what I talk about as well, is that the signature talk lives and kind of sits inside a lot of these, things like podcast interviews or webinars and stuff. There is like a signature talk in there, like, and if you've done the work to do it, then you'll have clarity on how to talk about it. So that's part of the incentive for coaches. So long answer short, it's like, it's a little bit indirect. It's not as like a perfect match. This is not a webinar on how to run webinars, which I want to do next time. But this one is like, here's a thing that's useful for webinars, but something you should think about as a coach, sort of the angle. Yeah.
Cool.
So it hasn't been quite. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I like the webinar on how to run a webinar idea. The reason I kind of asked is, what I was thinking is that we've run webinars previously when we had like when we were working at a company and they gave you like a bit of a template. But for example, if I was to run a webinar and I'd never done one before, like, just the fear of like, oh, how do I do this? Like, if someone just laid out, oh, so at this point you do this and this, I think that'd be quite popular, to be fair, especially because I've seen like all over school, LinkedIn, everywhere, how powerful webinars actually are for booking meetings. So I think if you could give like a template to people and like, this is exactly how you should run the webinar, how to prep, what to do in it, what to do after, I could see a lot of people doing or going for that purely because they probably haven't done it up to this point because they're just scared of running a webinar.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, actually, well, that part is I've got it in a free course at the moment that just launched, which is basically that whole system. But then that's not the incentive for Premium. So I was like, but no one's doing, I knew no one would do this. No one's doing the course because it's like, it's quite dense, and it's like, you got to like spend time, sit down and do it. And people don't do that with free courses. So I'm thinking about pulling that into Premium and doing something else. But my whole marketing sort of wrapped around that at the moment. So yeah, that's cool. I've got a template. I might add that to Premium as well, like a special template that's really grab and go. Cool. That's great feedback. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm wondering if in the free course you could have like a more basic version of the Premium template, if that makes sense. So like the Premium is more like you've done the vast majority of the stuff that they would have to figure out themselves. But then the free one, you could just give like a rough skeleton on like, this is how to do it. Because for example, if I saw that and I was like, oh, like I just want the answer, I'd just then go pay for it. So I wonder if you could use that as like a bit of a lead magnet.
Cool. Yeah, let me just show you, see what you guys think. Can I share my screen for a second?
Yeah. I think it should be on.
I haven't been able to get any feedback on this yet. I just launched last week, but it's this one. So it's like, the workshop system is basically like, making sure you have space to do it and not overestimate how much effort it takes to run an event. There's some stuff there on topic selection, what to think about, what to do, the announcement and launch. So it's like just follow the steps from this checklist, and that's basically the same for preparation, delivery, follow-up, and assets. So it's like this is literally what I'm doing. I'm doing this in a more personalized, tailored way for one-on-one clients, and it's working great. So I thought it's very high value, but it just seems too dense for a course, and I can see why people would be like, I don't know. But yeah, so you think like potentially, I mean, this deserves to be in premium, to be honest. And I could potentially just have like this course is just the bones of like a solid, validated webinar that will probably be enough for people coming in. I don't know. Is that sort of what you're thinking or what you're saying?
Yeah, I think he's saying so. It's if people aren't doing the free course, I wonder if there's like a way to present it differently. Where, yeah, no, it's difficult to be fair. So I guess if you also haven't kind of run this format before as well, it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, so I was just thinking, for example, like if you had like a document or like a flow chart or something as like, oh, here's like a very basic way that I would run a webinar, like insert your content or offer, etc. here. Then the premium one, like you said, if you've got the AI prompts and stuff, you have like a more in-depth version of that with like a video talking them through it step by step. Because I assume if people are paying to upgrade, they then are more interested in actually going through that. No, I think it's a good idea for sure, especially doing a webinar to promote doing a webinar. Like you're proving that it works. So I mean, you can't do much more than that.
Absolutely. Yeah, cool. Nice. Yeah, food for thought. I'll think about it. But that makes sense. There's something with this mechanism I need to tweak a little bit, and I'm kind of pitching the premium as well as like it's like pre.
That's
Yeah.
I wanted to stop sharing my screen.
We're good.
Yeah. It's like a pre-sale special thing. I'll think about it and polish that up. But yeah, the webinar is like the best. That should be something. Yeah, next month I'm going to go pretty hard on that. I think makes the most sense.
Cool. I'm interested to see how that goes.
I'd say it's too cheap, if anything, man. $49 a year. It's like what, $4 a month?
Yeah, it's just super cheap. I guess it's I want it to just be complete no-brainer, right? And I want to get paid for jumping on discovery sales calls. That's sort of the incentive. So, but it's amazing how many people are kind of like, oh, I don't know. It's like, okay, it's like a clear indicator that they're not someone to spend time on. So, I don't know. I think I want to keep it at 49, just like stupidly cheap. But do you think it's too cheap?
I think if you wanted to make it a complete no-brainer, you could make it more expensive with a money-back guarantee or like something like that. Like if you had it fucking 250, 500, something like that. It's like if you run a webinar and you don't get at least one sign-up that's worth more than what you paid me, I'll give you money back and keep working with you for free until you do. Because that's the overall premise of it, right? I show you how to run webinars and run workshops that bring on new clients for you, right? Is that the whole premise?
So I do that. Yeah, that's the premise. Yeah, I do that for high ticket because actually the hardest part is getting people to follow all the steps because there's a whole bunch of like outreach and stuff that I think people shy away from. Or they're like,
that's based on them though, right? It's like, I'm not just going to give you money back if you don't do anything. It's like with our cold email agency, we'd say to people, like, you have to actually run the outreach and send minimum X amount of emails per day. And then if you don't get X, Y, Z, then we'll give you money back. If that's the premise that people need to follow, it's like, that's, you got 30, 60 days, whatever you want to do, assuming that you actually follow the steps in the classroom and we tick them off together and you hop on the weekly calls and you take action, then no problem. I'll give you money back, give double your money back. That's how confident I am. But if you don't do any of that, can't really help you, like I feel like the people that are saying, oh, I'm not sure, around $50, it's like, I feel like they're probably thinking that it's a scam or something, to be honest.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, true. If you told me if that was $54 a month, I'd be like, do we even do anything? So I think it's worth way more, to be honest, man.
It is. Yeah, absolutely is. let me pick your brain on that for a second. So you guys ran sort of like give your money back, like follow these steps, work with us for a certain amount of time, get your money back if it doesn't get you this many clients kind of offer. Is that what happened?
Yeah, like our agency, it's 4K, 5K, right? And then at the end of the sales call, if they're still unsure, just be like, look, give your money back guarantee. Work with us for 90 days. If you don't at least double your investment from what you make back, then we'll give you money back and keep working with you for free until you do. So best case, you make loads more, you get your money back and you make loads more, and you learn how to run cold email and blah, 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 blah. Or worst case, you get absolutely nothing from it. You're the first client ever to not get anything from it. You're our first client ever to not make their money back. And then we give you your money back and we part ways and you haven't lost anything.
Yeah.
And people are
So
like, yeah, fair enough.
how did that go for you guys?
Yeah, pretty well. I mean, it's like a back pocket thing. Like you don't announce that at the start. But like with the webinar, you could be like, everyone on the webinar, I've actually got a money back guarantee for you. That if you jump on like right now, like I've just opened this, if you jump on, then if you don't sign at least one client, and I'm assuming all of you have got clients worth more than $50 for the year, right? I'm like, yeah. It's like, cool. If you don't sign at least one client following the steps that I've got in the classroom and working with me, then I'll give you money back. And if that happens, something must be seriously wrong and probably diagnose it anyway. That's what I would say to people. Like, if you're not making money back in 90 days, that's 3 months. There must be something seriously wrong. And that's a bigger problem.
This is interesting because I think one of the bits of feedback that's come back so far, this is feedback from just working with clients, and that I had an offer before that was attached to how many sales they make. And these guys are not making sales because the first workshop that they run is typically in their own audiences. And that, their audience, it varies, right? So they're not really making that sale, even though they go through this process and they get a bunch of calls and that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to detach from their result. And I was thinking like, well, it's like because at the moment it incentivizes them not to tell me that they made a sale, which like hurts me. And it like, which is not great. So I was trying to position it in the same way. Book calls is fine. It's very easy to track in that sense. And there's not so much pressure to disclose. And when I work with people, the plan is to basically create funnels for people to have an attraction and conversion system. So when I'm in their GHL or whatever, it's easy for me to track the book calls, right? But yeah, just wondering if you ever had issues with that. Like,
has anyone ever lied to you about sales? Has anyone ever lied to you saying they haven't made sales and they have, or you're pretty sure they have?
I have no idea. Yeah, I just assume they haven't. And that's like, it also depends on how they sell and pitch too, which I felt like I could tell some of them are like, oh, this guy's not the best, or they just have really small audiences or whatever. So I just sort of limited it to me just being like, I'll get you the book calls. And if you're confident to close, you close. And then I don't really want to be attached to that like sale part anymore.
Yeah. Well, then the outcome for your webinar needs to be, I'll help you run a webinar or a workshop that gets you more booked calls, right? Instead of more clients. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine then. So like,
I'm wondering if you guys ever had issues with that. Like, did your clients ever be like, no? So no one ever complained, being like, I didn't make 2x back. I want my money back. No dickheads did that.
Nah, not really. I mean, not really. No. Like sometimes people would be like, oh, I'm coming up to the end of the partnership and things aren't looking good for me. It's like, yeah, sick man. You've had like 50 shots on goal. Like the system's working. You're booking loads of calls. If you can't convert, if you can't close, that's not really our problem to help you with that. We said we'd book in calls. So if someone signs up with you and they follow your steps and run a workshop and they book 10 calls, well done. It's like perfect. If they don't book a single call, like that's pretty unlikely, right? If they follow all the steps.
Yeah.
So if you've got your guarantee towards that, and then you've got proof showing the amount of calls that people book on their workshops following your guidance and steps and things like that, I think it'd be sweet. But yeah, I don't think anyone would ever actually confront you and be like, I want my money back because I didn't. It's like, if they do that anyway, they weren't going to be a good client and you have to give them $50 back. So whatever, so what?
That's good. It's a good idea. I think I will. Yeah, I'll think about it. Because maybe this is the bump up in price for the guarantee for next time. Yeah, I'm gonna think about all this. I might move everything around. Because if the free course becomes paid and then they do it and then they can get their money back, they'll actually do it. Then I can get some results because I want results because I know that it works. I'm doing it with my paid clients already. So I need to shuffle some things around, I think.
I think, to be
Format.
fair, like Harris was saying, like it'd be completely fair enough as well, like to say to like, look, people, like this workshop or webinar will fill your calendar, but obviously I'm not selling or closing these people, so I can't be held responsible if you don't close them. But if, for example, you run, it depends on the timeline, of course, but like say to be eligible for the guarantee, you have to do 2 webinars in 60 days. And if you don't get a single call from that, like fair enough, I'll give you your money back. But if you book in 10 calls and don't close a single one, like what do you want me to do about it? Like I've done what I said I would do. You've gotten the calls, so I think that's completely fair enough. And if, like Harrison said, if people were getting funny with you, like, oh, I didn't close any of them or no ROI, it's like, well, you need to get better at sales then, or something. Like that's not your job. You're just selling them to fill their pipeline.
Yeah, 100%. I send them to senders or whatever you guys change names to. Yeah,
That's
quite
good.
good. Yeah. You guys got you got an affiliate program there? Because I mean, it does make sense.
No, we do, yeah. But
You do, okay.
yeah, man, I wouldn't worry too much about like. I just offer it. Just like on everyone on the webinar right now, if you jump in right now, offer you money back guarantee. That if you don't get, like, how many calls do you think is realistic? Like 1, 5, 3, something like that, more, or just like any calls?
3 calls, like from one, provided you have at least an audience of 100 people, it is very reasonable. That's what I've pitched it at.
Cool.
Most people have an audience much bigger than 100 people, even if their school community only has like 20, so yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, if you don't book at least 3 calls from webinar that you run following these steps, then give your money back. If someone books 2, they're not going to ask for their money back,
I liked what you said as well, Harrison, though, is that like the other outcome of doing this is if you have the calls and whatever, you then actually diagnose, is it a problem with your selling, your offer? Like we can then work to fix that piece. So either way, you're going to get a resolution to whatever problem you've got.
That's exactly what the high ticket part's shaping up as. It's like very diagnostic. It's like a thesis that in your current audience, there's at least 2 people that are willing to work with you right now with the right nudge. And if that doesn't happen, we're like, okay, it's like an attraction problem. And then I have the solution for that as a high ticket thing. So, or you mentioned like sales, it could be a sales problem too. Then I refer them, so that's really powerful evidence to have. That's how I've been framing it to protect myself a little bit more, just being like, we have a thesis. This is what we're trying to prove. Yeah, so that's cool. Nice. I'm glad that you saw that part.
Wicked, man.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
well, can we hear the pitch?
Yeah. Well, fuck, it's not ready yet. But I think we've sort of unpacked it in pieces. I need to practice. Yeah, I mean, I've sort of like walked through it, but I don't really have it together. So yeah. I need to think about it.
If it's not ready, man, yeah, no stress, no pressure. But if you want to run it by us, happy to have a look at it.
No, I appreciate it. There's a lot of things. I'm going to tweak some stuff. I think I'm going to do a guarantee. I think that would really strengthen it. And it'd just be fun to try it. I have nothing to lose. So yeah, give it a shot, double the price, and then just like go for that.
Guarantee is rip, man. 100%. You can do like, we made a YouTube video on this recently. You can do like service-based guarantee, or if they're not happy with your service, money back. You can do outcome-based. You can do time-based. Like there's loads of different ones you can do that just completely like eliminate. And if you say that at the start of the call, be like, everyone on this call, if you join by the end of this call, the money back guarantee or whatever guarantee you go with is valid. And then at the end, just be like, by the way, guys, it looks like we've had a few people sign up. If you're still thinking about it, again, we've got the money back guarantee that if you don't book at least 3 calls from a webinar following this in 30 days, then give you money back and keep working with you for free until you do. Because something must be seriously wrong if you're my first ever client to not actually book 3 qualified calls from a webinar.
Yeah. Nice.
Pretty hard to say no to that, especially if, I reckon do more than $49 for the year, man. It's like,
yeah, I think
you're lowballing yourself.
Yeah, 99 would be good. That's a good qualifier as well for anyone who's serious. It's still only like less than $10 a month. So yeah, it's cool. I like it. I'll probably give it a go. I'll think about this. Yeah.
Sweet.
This is helpful. Yeah, I'm glad I jumped on and just sort of spitballed with you guys. This is a very high value call.
Yeah. Clip that, Harry. Clip that.
Yeah. One more time. No, it's exciting, man. I'm excited to hear how it goes. When is the webinar?
Wednesday. So yeah, Wednesday, 8 p.m. my time. I think it's like 1 p.m. for you guys, Central European time. So if you're free, come through.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, drop chuck a post or like drop us a message after as well. I'll be keen to hear how it went. It'd be interesting.
Sure, absolutely.
1 p.m. Wednesday, 24th, like this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, free. I'll hop on.
Cool.
It's in your community, right, on the calendar?
The Build Your
sweet, man.
Signature talk. Yeah.
Lovely.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well,
Sweet,
have a good one. I'm going to go twiddle my thumbs and figure this out.
Sweet,
do it,
dudes.
mate.
Yeah.